Hi, I'm Run7, and if you're watching this video, you either clicked on it by mistake, congratulations, that was a fantastic mistake to make, or you're considering using OBS to start streaming or making content on your favorite platform. This video covers the basics of scene building in OBS. My brother-in-law reached out to me, him and his buddy wanted to build a stream featuring fantasy football, and they asked for my help, so I brought him live on stream and recorded this, and I cut it down for your viewing pleasure, plus some timestamps below if there's something in particular you're looking for. If you like the video, be sure to hit like, and consider subscribing as I'll be doing more of these. You can find me streaming at a random schedule right now on Twitch, and soon I'll be streaming live on YouTube as well. Well, get ready for some stream inception here, because this is gonna kind of freak some people out here, but it's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna be doing things like this, showing how to get started on OBS, how to start making scenes and sources, adding in your microphone, adding in your cameras and whatnot, and maybe even setting up some scene transitions and showing how to work in studio mode. You want to bring up your OBS window, and we'll start by building our first scene just to get you in there so that you can have something on screen. A lot of what happens with OBS takes place in the settings, but it only takes place in settings for about your first week or two of streaming. Later, I'm gonna let you connect to Twitch and everything, because that's got some sensitive stuff here, like your stream key, which you never want to share. And you can go through all those audio outputs and everything. Today, I just want to get your first scene built. Now, in OBS, I highly recommend from the start you start learning how to use studio mode, which you can see in the bottom right-hand corner is this button labeled studio mode. I can turn it on and off, and what that does is on the right side of the screen is going to be what Twitch sees or whatever you're broadcasting to. And on the left side of the screen is going to be where you're tinkering and what you're doing and preparing to swap that over. So right now, everybody on Twitch is seeing all this stuff that you see in the right-hand window, some of sort of a little bit of a inception in the right-hand side. But on the left-hand side, I can do stuff like set up, I have the sports bar scene set up right here, right? And inside that I can tinker with my scenes and everything. And then when I'm ready for Twitch to see that sports bar scene, I can choose any of my transitions that are listed here in the center, or I can just transition. And now Twitch is seeing just the sports bar scene, which I was using for that Marvel Strike Force tournament not too long ago. I had it left over. For now, let's just build a scene, and I'm gonna stay in this studio mode, but you guys don't have to be in studio mode for it right now. It just helps cut down on the inception. To start off, we're gonna make a new scene. You guys can call this your interview scene or your opening scene, or name it whatever you want. Start off by going under scenes, hitting the plus button, and typing in whatever you want to call it. We're gonna call this one Sutton and Valor Go to School with proper spelling. Boop. Hit OK. And now you can see that we have a blank scene right here that we want to prepare. That's on the left side. No one's seeing this. The recording is still this big scene that's got the inception going in it. And we're going to build stuff into this scene as we go. Once you have the scene made, you can make a list of scenes so that if you want an interview scene, or if you want a game capture scene, or if you want, I don't know, just to show a slide that says be back soon for a piss break or something. You can have all those scenes set up, and then if you have a stream deck or you just use the buttons here in OBS, you can switch back and forth from them really quickly and easily, and you can be prepared to change. So like I like to do an intro scene. My real talk is what I labeled it, but it's an intro scene, and I come into the beginning of stream, and it's just me, and I talk for a little bit and tell people what we're gonna be doing, and then I would switch to something like this, or you guys would probably switch to something more like this interview scene. But let's go build one up from the ground up. First off, you're gonna need your audio input capture device. Absolutely have to have a microphone if you're going to be doing Twitch streaming. So you do audio input capture, and you guys will be creating a new source probably rather than I have some existing stuff, so I can bring in my Wave 3 microphone, which is right here, or I could bring in stream capture of some sort of something else. But we're gonna go audio input capture 1. Fine, good enough. Click OK. And then device, click it, and there'll be a link of anything that can possibly capture or make noise to be heard. And so you can go down there and whatever your microphone is, click that. That'll get you started, right? So I do like mic in Elgato Wave 3. In fact, I'll just put that in there. Next up, we need to get your either display capture for your video game, or you want a camera. A video capture device would be your camera. So let's start with video capture device. And again, you're gonna go video capture device 1, and you can name this anything you want. I have several cameras in the studio, so I like to name them by whatever camera is capturing it. And then you're gonna go in and you're gonna find that capture device. Okay, so there's something just so we have it on screen, right? And it put that in there. One thing that you can do when you bring in a camera like that, you can change the size of this by simply dragging the corners, and that'll change the size of your camera. But even better, if your camera is picking up some weird edges, like maybe it's picking up the desk over here and you don't want that to be seen, or you don't want your boom arm in the shot like I've got right here. You see the boom arm kind of in the camera. You can hold down the Alt key and grab one of these arrows, and you can shrink it so it cuts off and chops that portion of the video. I'll bring it back out. And when it's maxed out, it's the red lines. When it shows a green dotted line, you know you're chopping some of that camera. So I'm gonna put this camera down in the bottom left like a pro streamer would. And then we're gonna add some background because this is a lot of black for people to be watching right here. So let's go pick an image for right now. Later we can show a game capture or something, but right now we're gonna pick an image, and I'm going to pick something stupid like that. All right, and now this goes to your computer, and you go through wherever you like to store your pornography or whatever. And I have a file of backgrounds. What's this? I don't even know what this is. It's fine, I'll click it. Oh, okay, some sort of weird picture of a couch in like a cabin or something. And I click OK, and that's gonna put that on screen, and I'm gonna stretch that out until it fills the window. Now, sometimes the picture that you pick is square, and your window is actually 1920 by 1080. By the way, write down the numbers 1920 by 1080 because you're gonna use those for the rest of your streaming career. Those numbers are super important. I have them memorized at this point, but when you first start out, 1920 by 1080 is the size of the window. That is that 1920 is the width and 1080 is the height. That's how many pixels are on the screen. And anytime you want something to go full screen, you're gonna type it in as 1920 by 1080. So anyway, the picture's in there, but as you can see, it's covering up our camera. So what we gotta do is we gotta move something stupid, which is our picture name, and we gotta put it in the list behind the video capture device. And as you can see, that made the webcam utility window pop up over the picture. So that'll bring your face on your camera in front of the picture. So we got our picture of us, we've got this, and then if you want to, let's capture a picture of someone from Discord. So what we're gonna do here, so that like when you and Valor are streaming together, one of you will have your camera, and then you need to capture the other person's camera, which could be coming through on Discord, a Zoom call, Restream, whatever you're using, you wanna be able to capture that. So I'm going to do something slightly different. It's going to be a display capture, but you can also do a window capture. The difference between display capture is that it's going to get everything on the display, and a window capture will get everything in the window that's showing on the display regardless of what size that window is. So you can shrink the window down or bring them back up. All right, so we're gonna go display capture, and I'm gonna call this Discord display. And what I have a third monitor that you can't see, and I have lots of monitors, but on my third monitor, I have Discord playing up over my head. And so I'm gonna do that. What is this? Oh, I want display, sorry. So on display, I have my LG monitor. I'm going to click that, and that's showing Discord. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that Alt key. I'm going to hold down Alt, and I'm going to crop this window in to just get you on Discord. And so if you were to start sharing your camera, if you wanted to, you could, but you don't have to because I know you don't have your lighting set up. But then you would have just that camera being shown, and I could size that to about the same size as my window over here, and I'll put it on the right. And that way that has you and Valor both on here, and if you wanted to, you could adjust those so that you're both taking up approximately half the screen. You can see this one probably needs to be cropped to adjust it. I mean, obviously I'm not showing anybody in those windows, so you just try and get them so that your head sizes are about the same. And if you're using green screen, then it gets really cool because you can overlap those windows and you don't even notice it. In fact, if both of you are using green screens, you can overlap those windows to a large degree like this. And then the green screen trims out everything but you guys, so you guys can do like high fives on screen and stuff, even though you're not in the same room, right? Again, we can do green screen stuff another time. That's a whole thing. All right, so what have we got so far? We got our background, we got our camera and our buddy's camera, and we got our audio input so people can hear you. Let's add some music. Let's do an audio output capture. So if you want to play some system sounds or music or whatever, you'll do audio output capture 1. I like to label these. I have mine going through the Elgato mixer, and so all of my sounds from whether it be system, music, voice chat, browser, gaming, other stuff, it's all going into one source. It's being mixed there to my liking with special EQ for each one with individual sound levels, all that. Who cares? Do system sounds, grab Spotify, and then you're playing some music. All right, so audio output capture. We'll just go here. And again, I have a ton of stuff which you probably won't have. Here we go. Speakers, Steam streaming speakers. That one probably works. Or if you're playing music through your headphones, or you're playing music through your monitors or something like that, or a speaker system, you can grab one of those. Anywhere where the music is coming out of, you can grab one of those, and you can play around with whichever one you want. So that, I could probably just grab my Elgato headphones, right? I could grab the headphones, and whatever I'm listening to is going to play here. But when you do that, you got to be careful because some people like to monitor their own voice, and it'll be coming through their headphones along with the music. And then when you capture that, you're going to get that loop, right? And you don't want that. So be careful what source you're grabbing. If you can, maybe grab system sounds, or if you want to, like default is probably system sounds, which is what I'm going to use. If you want to, grab some sort of EQ mixer. Again, Elgato Wavelink software works great, especially if you have an Elgato microphone. And then you can watch a video that's a little bit more advanced about how to divide up all the different sources of audio so that you can adjust them individually. But if you just want some music playing, grab your system sounds, mute all the other stuff, and you can have some music playing. So we got our audio output capture. I'm going to rename this to music. That's what I'm going to do. Rename, and it's gonna go with this music mix. You can go into properties and you can add all sorts of stuff. One thing you're gonna want to do on your music is gonna be a limiter. So again, you go into filters, hit the plus sign, go to limiter, click OK. And this limiter is going to put a limit on how high that music can go, so you don't accidentally blow anybody's eardrums out. You don't actually accidentally blow away chat or anything like that. So that's a good one to throw in there. I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna go to my audio input. I'm gonna do the same thing with filters, except this one, I'm gonna go to and do Noisegate. And the stock Noisegate on OBS is pretty good. Just add that in there right off the bat on your microphone. That's gonna help cut out background noise when the wife's yelling at you because you're late for dinner, or your kids are running through screaming in the background. That's gonna cut some of that stuff out. You have an air conditioner running in the room, it's gonna cut some of that stuff out. The stock Noisegate is pretty good. you're gonna have to watch an entire video to figure out how to tweak that. Maybe we can do one on tweaking Noisegate, but Noisegate's kind of complicated. Okay, so you got Noisegate on your microphone, you got music with a limiter so it doesn't blow out your eardrums. You have your buddy on video, you're on video. Be sure to remember here that your buddy's audio is going to be coming through on the system sounds. So if you grabbed Spotify and muted everything else, you'll also have muted him too. So you need to make sure you know where that's coming from so that that audio is allowed through as well. You have something stupid in the background, and maybe you want to showcase one of your favorite athletes replay from YouTube or something, right? We're gonna add in one more source, which is going to be for most streamers on Twitch, they're gonna be doing a game capture, right? For you guys, it would probably be a window capture, which is basically the same thing. The game capture is going to specifically be looking for a game to capture and throw up on screen, whereas the window capture is going to be looking for any open window you want. And so over on my browser on the right monitor, I'm going to just put up a video on YouTube, something that I'm going to mute. Hold on, I'll get it going here. Over on another monitor, I have a window open and it's playing a video. Back in our sources, you hit plus and we're going to hit window capture. And we're gonna mark this as YouTube or whatever you're wanting to capture. If you're wanting to play videos from sporting games, or maybe you have an app, or maybe you have a window that has some sort of, like, I don't know, Fox Sports playing on it, whatever you want, you can type that in here. For me, it's gonna be YouTube, and I'll click OK. And then under properties, you find the window you want to capture, which happens to be this YouTube video that's playing in the background. Capture method is automatic. You can click this and you can see all the windows I have open are in that list to choose from. I'm gonna find this one here and capture it. It's in there and I can crop it. Just hold down that Alt key, crop it to be the window of this absolutely handsome fellow talking about Marvel Strike Force, which he no longer has to play, thank God. And we can put that in the back. And again, if you don't want it covering up, like maybe we want this to be, you know what? Let's make it full screen, right? Because he's a really handsome guy, and we want everybody to see His Majesty there as large as life. But the problem is now it's covering up you and Valor. So we need to take that, and in this list, we're going to drag it down behind those video captures. So now Sutton and Valor are now being displayed on screen. Once you have everything where you want it locked in place, you're gonna put the lock on these so that when you're messing around in OBS, you can click all over the place and I don't accidentally slide windows anywhere. Keeps it all where you want it. And if you don't want this window to be playing, you can just go right here to the eyeball and click hide. And look, it's back to our picture of something stupid in the background. And so you can just turn that on and off. Now that video is still playing on my right monitor over here. Nobody else can see it, but I can hide it and play it. And so if I want to, I can pause that video and hide it. And then when you're ready to start talking about that amazing catch that they made for the big touchdown, you can bring that back on, hit play over there, and it starts going again. And once again, remember that the video that we just captured is going to have its own audio source. And if you didn't send that through a mixer beforehand, it will be coming through the system sounds, and you need to make sure that it either isn't muted or it is muted depending on what you want. So that's really convenient there. And then if you unlock it, you can see the arrows come up and you can move that around to make it smaller, larger. You could have that playing over here. So you can have as many of those windows as you wanted on your scene. And then again, in studio mode, when you're ready for chat to watch everything, you can transition to it. And now chat's seeing what we just made with all those audio sources, although they're also hearing my audio, which is really coming through loud for them. Sorry, guys. Forgot that switched over to those audio mixes, which were not filtered properly. So my audio was peaking way past what I wanted it to. One way you can adjust those audios on the fly, you can see the audio mix bars right here, and you can grab those sliders and you can bring that back up to full volume. is how you can do it quick on the fly. I don't recommend you like make that a habit. You really want to get your audio levels tuned in first and then go live or start recording. The best way to test your audio, unfortunately, there's apps and programs you can install, but I haven't bothered to do it. But unfortunately, the best way to do it without installing something on OBS is to simply hit start recording, record a little video of yourself for like 10 seconds testing the audio, hit stop recording, and then play that video back to you. That video is going to record exactly what is broadcast to Twitch or YouTube. And so you can test it out and see how that sounds. So that's the basics. You guys have a scene that's built with your video playing. I have the Twitch chat up there. Oh, there's something else too. If you guys want, you can make a Twitch window. And I don't have it ready, but I do have a thing. Let's switch this one over to here, this one here. And under my alerts, I have a chat, so I could turn this on. And then you can see right here as chat talks, chat, say something to the guys, would you please? As they talk, it'll scroll chat on the screen. In fact, it's playing on both screens, so chat's seeing it on their window, and then the studio mode has it over here in this other window. So I'm gonna turn that off there, but it looks like it's probably turned on the other overlay. So there's ways to do that and have chat, and then you manipulate that like any other source in your windows. It'll be boxed out and you'll adjust it. Trying to get the transparent chat, there's a program that I use to do it, or maybe there's a setting, I forget. I wasn't really prepared for that one. In the short term, if you want to, you could do a window capture, much like what you're seeing here with this one. Let me see, that's actually, oh, it's YouTube, right. I labeled it YouTube, but it's actually, right now, it's actually my Twitch window. So, right, if I wanted to make a cheap, easy chat overlay, I could totally just grab this window capture, right? And size it so it's just chat on there like that. That's a cheap and easy way to get your chat window up on screen. But you don't really need, like on Twitch already has chat built into it, so you don't need that. But if you're multi-streaming or you're making a video for YouTube and you want YouTube to be able to see the Twitch chat, that's a cheap and easy way to do it. There are programs that give you the clean version where it's just a word overlay, and then you can build a box behind it if you want. Did that help you guys out? Did you give you some idea how to get your first scene set up in OBS so that you can make something happen? Were you going along with me while I did that?
Yeah, I was going.
It went pretty good.
Yeah, and then
I don't have a camera.
That's okay. You don't need a camera. In fact, you could take a picture of yourself and put it up there. Valerie, you have a phone. You can use a phone. There's an excellent program. Oh, what's the program called? Hold on. Let me drop this window down. Irium Webcam. IRIUN. And that is what I use for this video right here. I use that Irium webcam, and it's wireless to that camera over there. And so I can have a mobile camera to pick up and move around. And that's super useful. If you don't have a camera to work with, you can just plug your phone in, turn that on before you start streaming, and now you have a webcam. And honest to God, your phone's camera, even an old phone, like my old Samsung, I think that's a Samsung 8 or something, has a better camera than most webcams do today. I think this camera up there is a 1080 camera, and I think it looks like shit compared to this one right here. And it's a fantastic way to, on the cheap, get going. All right, that's everything I got for you guys today. That's it. That should get you rolling. Remember, guys, be the best version of yourselves that you can be. Whether you're trying to motivate yourself to get into the gym, or you're trying to motivate yourself to make content, or you just need some motivation, we're going to start doing some more stuff on Mondays that's super motivating, and try and get people excited to do whatever it is they're doing. And it could even be projects like baking or crocheting or whatever. And I'll find ways to help you get motivated. Today, it was motivating people to get on Twitch and make their scenes through OBS. All right, have fun, guys. Rise up. So I cutted it down. Be sure to enjoy this video. Be sure to enjoy this video? Like you need to enjoy it or else? That's where it's at right there. If you're not eating ass, you're not eating right.